Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hallmark Guy Podcast. I am Baptiste, the Hallmark Guy, and I'm back with the first review of 2026. Happy New Year, everybody. If you haven't watched my 2025 calendar Christmas ranking episode, and this is your first 2026 episodes, Happy New Year. I hope you had a great Christmas, New Year, holiday season. And I'm really excited to start this new Hallmark year with you. Our first movie of 2026, Lost in Paradise, which premiered on Saturday, January 3rd, 2026 at 8/7 Central on Hallmark Channel as part of Winter Escape, first Winter Escape movie of the year, and like I said, first Hallmark movie of the year. And it starred the Queen of Hallmark, Lacey Chabert, in what I believe is her 44th Hallmark movie, and Ian Harding, that I was happy to see back on Hallmark after Magic of Lemon Drops in 2024, summer 2024, and holidays, but I have not seen it. So yeah, last time I saw Ian was Magic of Lemon Drops, and of course, I loved Pretty Little Liars. I so I was really excited for him to be on Hallmark, and I was excited for this pairing. So, without further ado, let's get first into the recap of the movie. Lacey plays Sophia Tierra, a creator of the fashion empire Tierra. She's currently struggling with deciding what to do for the upcoming summer line. On top of that, her ex-husband Mario wants to sell his shares of the company to Luke's Clothier, but Sophia knows that it will cheapen the brand and put her employees' jobs at risk. The sale needs to be approved by the board, so she decides to go talk to the board members herself to convince them not to sell. Her first stop will be in Fiji. She rents a private jet and meets Max, played by Ian, who is a chef and who is best friend with the pilot, Julian. Julian knows someone who is interested in investing into a restaurant, and Max is tired of working where he works because he comes up with a lot of ideas and the chef steals them. The person that Julian knows is in Fiji, and Julian is flying there to fly him back to LA. So he convinces Max to come with him, thinking it would be an empty flight. But since Sophia joins them at the last minute, Max has to pretend that to be a flight attendant. Sophia buys it, and they take off. As they approach Fiji, the weather gets really bad, and they have to make an emergency landing in the middle of the ocean. That is when Sophia and the other captain, Lance, learn that Max cannot do anything because he is not a flight attendant. Sophia wakes up on a raft on a beach while Max and Julian and Lance are bringing what they could save from the plane out of the water. They landed on a deserted island with no idea of where they are, but they're close to Fiji, and they only have a little bit of food and water and countless suitcases containing the samples that Sophia was bringing to the board members to convince them not to agree to the sale. Julian and Lance decide to go explore the island to see if they can find people, but since they do not, they decide to take the raft and paddle to another island, leaving Sophia and Max on the beach. It is a struggle, and they almost die in a storm, but they make it to an island with life, and they will organize a search and rescue for Sophia and Max. Back on the deserted island, Sophia and Max try to survive by building a shed, drinking coconut water, repurposing Sophia's creation to build things and a new wardrobe for her. They even spearfish, and Max cooks delicious meals with what he foraged and what they fished, and they get friendly, opening up about their lives. Max had opened a pop-up restaurant in the past, but he was so focused on the menu, but not on the rest, so it fell apart, and he had to close it. So he's scared that he will happen again. It put him in a funk, and his girlfriend broke up with him. And for Sophia, she also got so busy with work, and she and her husband had become business partners that it all that caused her divorce. Miranda, Sophia's assistant, joins Julian and Lance to help them search and rescue while trying to keep the whole story hidden from the press. Being on the island and working with her clothes really reminded Sophia how much she'd like to be involved in the making of the clothes, in the designing. While exploring the island, Sophia and Max see smoke afar, so they get closer and see an empty camp, but Sophia notices people coming towards them. She calls them, but Max stops her when he realizes by opening a bag and seeing it full of bills that they are pirates. But it is too late, and they have to run from them, which they manage to do. But they saw that they had a boat and a jet ski, so they go back and try to steal the boat to leave the island, but they can't make it start. So the pirates notice them, so they jump on the jet ski and try to escape them in a high pursuit with them on the jet ski and the pirates on the boat. But it takes them back to the beach, so they run in the woods and at some point notice a helicopter. It lands and it is Julian and Miranda, but the pirates are right behind them, or so they thought. They are not real pirates. They are cosplaying as pirates for the luxurious resorts on this not deserted island, really close to where they are. And the pirates thought they were tourists who went too far. Sophia and Max are brought to the resort where the press figured it out and is waiting for Sophia. She answers that questions and tells Max she will meet him at the bar, but she gets caught up in work and misses him. And the next day she has to fly to Japan, where the person who is was supposed to she was supposed to meet in Fiji is now. Max meets with the investor and first tells him to call French cuisine restaurant, which the investor loves, but Max realizes that he actually wants to do island-inspired, hyper-local cuisine. But the investor is not inspired, so he does not want to invest. But Sophia comes right behind and says she will. Before she was supposed to leave for Japan, she realized that what she wanted to do with the summer line, all an entire castaway chic. And she called Mario and they made a deal. He's not going to sell. She will go back to the creative side and Miranda will take over the day-to-day operations. She apologizes for missing Max at the bar and she tells him she likes him a lot. And being stranded on the island with him is one of the best things that ever happened to her. And it is the same for him. Sophia says that they just needed to get lost to find themselves again. They kiss, and we see them a year later eating at Max's restaurant with their friends. And that was Lost in Paradise. We're going to start with what really worked for me. And of course, the first thing that really worked for me was the Queen of Hallmark, Lacey Chabert. I mean, you have to like Lacey Chabert movie. She was great. She's a great actress. And there was something about her in the movie, and I couldn't really pinpoint it. And then I saw it reading reviews on Letterboxd. There was a glow to her that was just nice to see. She was really radiating in that movie, and the 10, VG10 maybe helped, but she was really great in the movie. She's perfect for every role, I feel like, because she gets scared from of a snake at some point, and she's like, "Don't move." And I thought that was really great. I mean, yeah, it's a Lacey Chabert movie. You got to be excited about Lacey. And Ian Harding, I mean, I think the first Hallmark movie I saw with him, I'm blanking on the name now. It's like is it boyfriend of it is, and now I can only find the name in French. It is Ghost of Christmas Always. I feel like it is the first Hallmark movie I saw with him, and I didn't know what to think about this movie, and I really loved it. So I was like, okay, how Ian needs to make more Hallmark movies. So I was excited to see him there. And watching the movie, I saw in Ian a lot of Paul Campbell. I felt like, wait, I had to remind myself, this is not Paul Campbell acting. Maybe they have some similarities, like physical, but in the way also in the delivery and the way he was acting, I saw a lot of Paul Campbell, which I didn't mind. I was like, oh, that's something I hadn't noticed before. And maybe it's because I've seen more Paul Campbell movies now since the last time I've seen an Ian movie. But yeah, I saw Paul Campbell. I was like, okay, that's funny. That's fun to point out. I mean, they could play now that Three Wise Men movies are probably over. If they ever need like a movie with like two brothers, I'm suggesting Ian Harding and Paul Campbell. I'm telling you, I was like, even from the voice, I was like, they sound alike. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Let me know. What also really worked for me was that Sophia was just the sweetest. You know, she arrives at the beginning of the movie. She gets out of the elevator. Someone pointed out online that's like the Devil Wears Prada. You know, she has the sunglasses, and even in the promos, like she's wearing the bag like that, and she has her little dog and the sunglasses, and she dressed all classy. Like, oh, she could be, you know, a mean boss. And she gets out of the elevator and immediately asks to like the employee that's like you can't find the word that I want to use now. The welcome desk or something like, how's your mom? And I was like, okay. And then she's just so nice with every employee and she's just nice with everybody. And I was like, that was refreshing that she was the nice boss. So I really liked that. The story was different. I don't think, yeah, I mean, playing Crash on Hallmark was different and fun. I mean, it got us to a lot of fun situation between Sophia and Max. And honestly, I didn't think about the fact I'm not, I've said it before, I'm not really a fan of movies that take place abroad, for Hallmark movies that take place abroad. And I think it's because I discovered Hallmark movies in France, and for me, it was the escapism to the US with the little town or New York or all that. So I'm not excited when there's one that's abroad, and I didn't feel the abroad thing because they were on a beach, and yeah, and it was fun, and the pairing was great. They worked really great. The chemistry was really great with them. I really liked it. Yeah. What did not work? I thought for people that were crashing and then that landed on a deserted island in the middle of nowhere, they weren't that panicked. They were panicked because I was like, they're not panicked enough for me. I mean, I, I maybe it was for the story, was for the movie, but I was like, they weren't, and because it's homework. But yeah, they weren't panicked enough. I was like, they almost taken you well. Well, okay, well, we'll see what we'll do. I was like, that's not how normal people would react. So I was surprised by that. There was this whole thing at some point. Max goes like forage like herbs in the woods, and then like we zoom on like his skull that's on the ground, and he doesn't see it. And then when the pirates at the end says we're not pirates, and they say, well, didn't you see like the skull and everything? It's like, and they did not. It's like, that's a missed opportunity. Because when I saw the skull, I was like, oh my god, like what is it? And then how are they going to react? They're going to be panicked. They didn't see it, so like, why show it? And then when they asked like, didn't you see it? The skull, I was like, they didn't see it. So I guess it's for to have that line. But I was like, that's a missed opportunity. And then for the pirates, I will say one thing though. I've never felt that unsettled watching a Hallmark movie, because when they get to the camp and you can feel that there's something wrong, like there's something that's gonna happen, that's going on, and I've never felt, I don't think, that bad and scared or like unsettled watching a Hallmark movie. So it was weird because I saw someone online say, "Oh, I was so scared when the plane was going down." I was like, "We know it's Hallmark. We know nothing bad will happen." And I knew nothing bad was gonna happen, but I was like, I still felt so unsettled. I was like, "There's something wrong here." But then I was so into the movie, and then this is a pirate stuff. I'm like, "Oh, um, I don't really know what to say about that." I feel like since because it is Hallmark, I feel like, are we going too far, like pirates and then like real bad stuff? I kind of threw me off and kind of made me take a step back from the movie, kind of be like not that into it, or like I don't know, I was unsettled after. And then when we realized we're not pirates, and I mean it's to make it Hallmark again, I was like, oh, that's kind of disappointing as well. I was like, that's a clever out of the situation thing, but at the same time, it's like, oh, but it is also to make it Hallmark again. So I don't know the whole pirate thing, and it, I mean, basically takes like 45 minutes, the last 45 minutes counting commercial breaks. Um, yeah, I didn't know what to think about that. Kind of threw me off. But yeah. Um, Final thoughts. I had some things to point out, but it was a school thing and I already talked about it and I have nothing else to talk about for some things to point out. Final thoughts. Great idea to start the year with Lacey. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of Winter Escape. But even if it wouldn't have been Winter Escape, even if it was New Year, New Movies or um, Winterfest, great idea to start with the Queen of Hallmark. The thing is, now that I'm thinking, is when the next time we're gonna get Lacey, like, is it gonna be a big break between the two? Is it the next time will be Christmas? I hope not. I hope she'll get another movie. She probably will. But yeah, think great idea to start the year with her. Like I said, do not think about the fact that it was abroad. Um, the movie, even though the pirates bothered me, I had such a great time that at the end, the movie was like thinking, to me, abroad movies, I'm not thinking 4 stars. So the homie was like 3.5. It's like, no, it's not a 3.5. It's like 4. And then with the Pirates, it's like, well, but I couldn't make myself give it a 3.5 because it seemed too low. I had such a great time, even with the Pirates, even with the Winter Escape movie. that I had to give it a 4 star out of 5, which is crazy for a winter escape. I think last year I gave it 3, but the other ones were low. So again, because again, abroad, I'm not that crazy about it. But honestly, this one was real great, and I hope I'm not jinxing it. All the other ones from Winter Escape looking great. But they all seem like summer movies, which is kind of the idea of Winter Escape, also making you escape from winter and like the plane and travel in summer and making you feel warm. But I want to see snow. I want to see winter movies. Last year I watched some of them. I watched Snow Coming, which they aired like it's the first non one of the first non-Christmas movies they aired this year. Like the first primetime one, I think, was Snow Coming. And I was like, for a channel that used to do seasons so well and relies a brand that relies on seasons so much, I wish we would go back to snow winter movies in January. Even though this one was great, I want to see like Winterfest coming back. So, and they all look great, but yeah, I feel like I wish we could get Winterfest back. And especially since we have like Passport to Love in June, that could have been one. And all the ones that are coming up could be because they are like, feel like they are set in summertime. So, yeah. Right, that's the end of this episode. Coming up, as well as other Hallmark movies like Richard to You and The Real West. This is my first interview for this podcast. I'm so excited. I hope to do more. So yeah, look forward to that episode coming out probably Wednesday on the 7th, January 7th. And I'm really excited. And yeah, hope you like it. Thank you guys so much for watching and follow the Instagram at the Hallmark Guy Podcast. Also, I didn't mention it. Tell me what you think of the new intro and outro. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.